Every pregnancy needs utmost care and attention. But certain pregnancies need a little extra attention. An RH negative mother carrying an RH positive baby is at increased risk of complications. BSV is at the forefront to ensure safe delivery in every RH negative pregnancy.
Hello and welcome to Perspective, presented by Women's Freak Zone and brought to you by BSV, Puma, Food and Wellness, AMRI Hospitals, and MPL Sports Foundation. This is not the first time that the match has gone so close. This is not the first time that we are not able to settle our nerves. And of course, this is not the first time in the tournament that I'm not able to put it in words. So I'd better have my experts alongside me, Julia and Brittany, to put the things into perspective for us. Brittany, before we get to the match, from both of you guys, I want to know that do we need to do something like meditation, yoga, something to prepare ourselves for the games? Because this is still the league stage. We are yet to witness the semi-finals and finals. Brittany first.
Oh, best World Cup ever. Best World Cup ever. You thought, 2017 with all the upsets was amazing, but look at what a tournament. Wow.
No words clearly. Julia, we all three of us wanted. We were rooting for New Zealand. Probably you guys were rooting because you had that top four in your mind, your predictions out there. But what a good fight from New Zealand! They're taking the game so deep and commendable effort.
Oh, absolutely. They had no luck today. Obviously, with Sophie Devine getting out, really restricted their scoring ability with the bat and potentially with the ball in the second in their second innings. And then you've got Leah Tahuhu, who also goes off with an injury. So to get that close and having two, experienced players out, I mean, New Zealand showed so much heart today. A lot of fight. I have to admit, England got the wobbly boots on a bit. They took the gas a little bit, I think, with a bit of scoreboard pressure and made that a lot harder than it should be. But probably in the end, the team that should have won got there. But wow, what a spectacle. And it really got the locals engaged in that game. Fantastic effort from New Zealand.
And as you rightly mentioned, Julia, that Tahuhu getting injured, Sophia Devine also struggling with that strain. And somewhere down the line, we feel that affected the game because we wanted those important overs from Tahuhu. A few runs out there from Sophia Devine would have made a difference. And Brittany already tweeted that she's not ready to not see Sophia Devine in the tournament, isn't it, Brittany?
No, like just the journey New Zealand been through the last couple of series. A lot of people was expecting New Zealand to deliver in this World Cup and for it to come down to come in this World Cup with performances like these is heartbreaking as a fan.
Definitely. And of course, talking about New Zealand's effort, we just can't not have a talk on Frances Mackay. Julia, how impressive was she? Probably one of the architects for New Zealand to take that game deep enough, give a fight there. And we were still hoping that she might get a wicket in her last over.
Yeah, she was fantastic. Just bowled in really good areas. Tough conditions too for a spinner. It was raining, gets a little slippery, and just pretty hard for her to do well. But she just managed to keep the pressure on with her non-turning spinners. It seemed to be at one stage. So yeah, fantastic effort from them all. I think they all just sort of found something a bit deeper in there, and they'll be absolutely devastated tonight, no doubt.
Before we started the live, Brittany, you were too impressed with Mackay as well. How do you put her bowling spell today?
Even though she took those wickets in the end, you still feel like she should have taken that last wicket. She wanted to deliver for her team, she wanted to deliver for her country, but to bring the game so close to where England was batting and batting so confident to bring back the game to like come down to the last 10-15 balls is some positive to take out of it.
Definitely some positive to take there for the hosts. Let's have a look at the bowling scorecard first. A good effort there from the New Zealand setup. Jess Kerr taking 2 wickets. Frances McIvy just mentioned about her 4 wickets to her account as well. Brooke Halliday and Leah Tahuhu with one each to their account. Julia, coming to Brooke Halliday, she came in probably a good idea there by Amy Satterthwaite, bringing her into the action, and then she gives you Amy Jones, a big wicket there. Susie Bates was celebrating like anything there. How do you sum up that move to bring in someone like a Brooke Halliday into the attack?
Well, I'm assuming she's had a little bit of bowling under her belt leading into that, because I really would have thought Amy Satterthwaite actually should have put up her hand and been the one that came in to bowl in that situation, and then again to throw it to Brooke in the 48th over as well.
Exactly, Brittany also wanted.
Yep.
It's a little harsh. So to me, I'm a little lucky getting the Amy Jones wicket as well on the full toss. So yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming that there had been some discussion that Brooke may get a bowl at some stage, and maybe even once they knew that Sophie Devine was out, they needed to find another bowler then if she was going to bowl in the overs today. But yeah, an interesting decision. It paid off. You know, you can look like a genius sometimes as a captain when you make a decision like that, but then obviously it comes back and bites you. You know, she bowls a half volley in the second last over, and they hit that for 4, and it's pretty much game over then. So, you know, cricket's a awful game sometimes. It can go really well for you, and then, you know, we have a saying in Australia, and I won't say exactly what it is, but it's penthouse to outhouse, we'll call it, which is a toilet. But there's another word for it that we use. But you know, you can be up here 1 minute, and the next minute you're right down here. So
Great level.
but a good effort. I mean, Amy had to try something. They were, you know, they needed to get those wickets, and it just sometimes those wickets just come off. So well done to her.
Cricket is a great leveler, they say, and that's what we saw today. Of course, we saw Amelia Kerr coming into the attack a tad bit later. Do you think that would have made a difference if she had come a bit earlier, Brittany? Because the only way New Zealand could have found a way out of this was getting those early wickets. Probably, of course, they got the wickets, but bringing in Amelia Kerr a bit earlier in the attack?
Probably not. And that's the thing, we could have said if Amelia Kerr came on earlier, you know, she would have get wickets early, or it could have happened that Amelia came in earlier and leaked more runs than she did. So probably I don't think it would have much of a big impact on what was going on in the game, but she still bowled a really good spell for 10 for 41 odds. So yeah, for me, the only thing could have changed that what happened at the end of the game, and as Julia said, rightfully said that, you know, I think that, you know, Amy should have took the ball, and, you know, just to see how Frankie was bowling, and those balls was kidding on 2 right-handers in the wicket. Yeah, it was set up perfectly for her to bowl, but unfortunately, they not go this long way in the end.
Yeah. But if you have to look back at New Zealand's campaign, they entered this World Cup with a great momentum by their side, winning the ODI series against India. They're the hosts, so a lot of expectations already. You both have played World Cups. You both know how it feels to sort of end your hopes there in a mega event, because preparing for a World Cup is a process. 2-3 years down the line, you go, you make an effort to plan every single thing that is going to help you at that particular day. Julia, how would that entire New Zealand setup now would just make of their journey in this World Cup so far? A lot of close matches, but how do you sum up their journey in this World Cup?
Yeah, I'd probably say they've just been a little. There's a little bit of bad luck, I think, initially, but I think at the same time there's been key areas in their games that they've sort of been letting themselves down, and that was pretty much closing out games with the ball. They were quite expensive in the death overs, just not being able to close out games and bowl teams out. And I think that's, even though they were getting a lot of wickets towards the back end of their games, I just think that they needed to probably, just tighten up their bowling a little bit, be a little more attacking. Their batting was leading into the World Cup really strong. I thought they were going to be, and that's sort of why I put them in my top 4, particularly their series of having beaten India. and they just probably didn't quite get that consistency with their batting as much as they probably would have liked. To be really challenging themselves and making sure they're maximising all the time. I think they just ended up just getting to good scores, but not great scores. And I think that's what they need to keep working on. I think they've got a really good setup now with Amelia Kerr at number 3. She's a definite number 3, and I think they're starting to look a little bit more solid. Obviously, we saw Maddie Green did a great job today as well, sort of in that middle order. But it's about that consistency of those performers, not once every 4 or 5 games. You want them doing it every sort of second or third game minimum and switching it around so that whole unit can be completely supportive of what they're doing. So I think a little bit of improvement in that bowling. I like Jess Kerr opening the bowling, bringing the ball in. I think Hannah Rowe, even though she didn't probably went for a few more than anyone else today, I still like her the way that she goes about the game. She's going to be really good in the future. She started to really understand her game a lot more, and I really like the fact that they're moving to Hoo into that middle sort of area. So they've got, and obviously Frankie Mackay really good with the ball, and they've still got a few waiting in the wings as well with what they need with that bowling attack. So to me, it's just more competitive games, maximising what they've currently got, and just really stabilising what they've got at the moment, because they have got something good. It's just not consistent enough yet.
Good scores, not great scores coming in from them, as Julia say. And one more game to go for the hosts. Coming to you, Brittany, with the same question. The positives already Julia has highlighted those for us, but playing those close matches, that hurts more, right? Like a game like today, a game like that with West Indies itself. So how does the team up their morale heading into the remaining cricket after the World Cup?
Yeah, losing games are hard, but losing games so close and even at home is, is heartbreaking. The fact that it was just right there. Another thing about this close game, 1 minute emotions high, yeah, we going and win, and then boop, the game just switch back to the other team and then back and forth. So I mean, I honestly feel it for New Zealand. As Julia said, a bit of bad luck with, to who now Divine, and things just just did not go their way in this tournament. I mean, they are not out of the tournament if they win by Pakistan and win big and rely on other results. They still stand a chance. But the fact that you have to sit down and wait and watch those games going to be very nerve-wracking.
Definitely. Now, coming to England, the defending champions still have hopes in the tournament. This was a must win for them. But coming to their opening batting, Julia, the woes continue there. Do we see any change coming in? Are you thinking that someone like a Lauren Winfield is getting the chance back, because Wyatt has not been looking at her absolute best today, as you guys said in the mid show, that she needs to think it from the point of view of a T20 game. That's how she started, but eventually couldn't make it big. And Emma Lamb waiting in the dressing room as well. So what could be the plans for England heading on?
Yeah, I can't see them changing the team now. They've started to get a couple of wins. I think they're going to feel confident as a unit. Danny Wyatt did what she was supposed to do. Obviously, she's supposed to go on and get more runs, but at least she was really attacking. She was trying to hit over the top. I would say actually New Zealand probably missed her a little earlier when they actually didn't have their mid-off sitting on the circle. I didn't know what that was about. She managed to squeeze a 4 through there when it probably would have gone straight down the throat if she'd been on the circle. So again, just a bit of awareness again from the opposition. But I think Danny Wyatt just needs to go out there, play her game, hit the ball where she can, and that's how they're going to get through this World Cup. I don't think there's too much they can do about it right now. They're not going to change it or bring Emma Land in untried for the last 2 games where they absolutely need to win. I think they're comfortable with the group that they've got. With some performances from majority of the team, you've got your stabilisers in your Knights and your Sivers and your Dunkleys, who seem to all be getting runs consistently enough. So I can't see they're going to change that batting at all. I think Charlie Dean's obviously going to be happy enough to sit in there as well. I just can't see this team changing.
And the inclusion of Charlie Dean has, of course, brought some sort of luck to the England side. We've seen that she's been performing well. you're happy with her performances, Brittany. And of course, coming to you with Heather Knight's form as well, that should be a big positive for England as well.
Actually, I was going to say, Brett, you're right. I know exactly what you're going to say. Catherine Brunt out for Freya Davies. Is that what you're going to say? Yeah. I know. I was thinking that's the one
That was
change.
like one change.
Yeah, that's the one change. You're right.
Go on,
Because
Brittany.
not going to take away, the ability of Catherine Brown, but you want your opening bowler to be effective. And right now, she's not being effective. She just don't seem to be getting things right. And this is a great opportunity for Davis to kickstart her career. Why not kickstart her career in a World Cup and deliver? Yeah. So my one chance for England will be Davis in for Catherine Brown.
Yeah.
And of course, Heather Knight getting in. Yeah, Julia.
No, I was just saying that's a great call. I think it's. I was actually thinking it's in my notes, and I just completely forgot about it because I was too busy worried about the batting order. But yeah, with the bowling, and again, like you said, Britt, it's no disrespect to Catherine Brunt, but at the moment, it's about trying to win a World Cup and stay in and stay alive in this. And at the moment, she's just not bowling her best. So she just needs to maybe even just have a break for 1 or 2 games and just see what happens from there. I mean, we know that she's such a competitor and a fighter, and no doubt she'll come back to her best, but. At the moment, it's Lisa Kiteley and Heather Knight have got to do what's best for this team to get them, at least into the semi-finals to start with, and then they can worry about things from there.
Definitely, and thinking of that change isn't a very bad idea because we've seen Australia is making very tough calls in this tournament, and that is paying them off. So might be the think tank of England would be thinking of the same as well. But Heather Knight also getting into those runs. But Nat Sciver, you told today, Julia, that you wanted to see her making a larger impact with the ball. Not with the ball, but she comes in there and gives you a good partnership there with Sophia Dunkley, and that's what defined defined that moment that England got the charge of the chase.
Yeah, she. I've never seen her look too angry, but she just looked really angry today. She was so focused on making sure that she was getting England over the line. I'm not sure if she was angry at Heather Knight for playing that sweep because it was just unnecessary the way that she got out. But it just looked like Sciver was angry, and she was so determined to make sure that she got England pretty much over the line. So, and she nearly got there. And from when she got out, you would assume that they were going to get there, but they did make it hard for themselves. But at least the viewerships would have gone up, I'm sure, and everyone's going to be talking about the game. And and England got their 2 points in the end. So Nat Sciver, she's been fantastic in that number 4 for England, and nice and solid, and even bowled pretty well with the ball, if not a little unlucky without picking up any wickets. But she's a fantastic all rounder, and she'll be essential for the run scoring machine that England needs to have to continue.
And just talking about the dismissals of the England's top order, Brittany, do you think that those were quite a few soft dismissals, trying to play shots that probably weren't necessary because the run rate was quite in their favor, and it was a very good opportunity for them to get them as the previous match?
Yes and no at the same time, because there's a lot of batters on the England team that haven't scored the runs, or the top order haven't gotten them the runs that needed. But you don't want, with 2 more games to go in the PM stage, and also most likely the semi-finals or finals, you want your batters to go out there with confidence. And as Julia said, no one expected someone like Heather Knight to play a shot like that, but Danny Wyatt, Tammy, I think they're gonna still go there and play the kind of I wouldn't say aggressive. I would say more aggressive in terms of Danny Wyatt's game, but Tammy is gonna try to continue to mix those two aggressiveness and also trying to stay long.
So England finally, even after that close game, that encounter that made us once again, gave us goosebumps, and this is what has been happening with us. Danny Bowman also tweeted yesterday about the same, that a lot of close matches we've seen thus far, and just prepping for a few more coming in with those important encounters left. We'll of course have another encounter tomorrow between West Indies and Pakistan. So we'll tune in for that as well at the pre, mid, post shows. Until then, you stay tuned to Women's Cricket Zone for all the updates on women's cricket.